Good evening, dreamer. Tonight, I'm going to show you my secret garden. It exists a world of its own away from the stress of the day, and when you step inside, time becomes irrelevant. You will breathe slow in and out, and your body will relax until the tension in your muscles will release. This wonderful garden is just behind a little wooden green door. Many people pass it by, but no one notices it in their rush to get from here to there, then back from there to here. Or perhaps everyone thinks that it only leads to a closet. The door is made of weathered wood, the green paint still bright, but you can tell it was painted years and years ago. A brass knocker in the shape of a lion's head hangs in the center of the door. The details in the carving of the metal, speaking of the controlled hand of a master craftsman. It is rare to see so much time spent capturing tiny details in an object clearly made to last for centuries. I will tell you the secret of opening the door. We will knock 3 times, no more, no less. And now we can turn the twisted brass handle engraved in swirling vines and open the door. The door leads to a small hallway, tiled in opulent Victorian patterns, the surface of the flooring not exactly level and slightly warped from the ages. The walls are papered in swirling leaves, and as you step inside, you notice tropical birds and cats and bunnies and monkeys and other fantastical creatures you've never even seen before, peeping out from between the leaves. At the end of the hall is a ladder that leads up through a hole in the ceiling, where green tint sunlight filters down across the tiles. If you're quiet, you can hear far-off birdsong and the sound of wind through the branches of large trees. You climb the ladder, which opens out through a stone circular wall, not unlike a well. You sit on the edge of the stones, gasping at the sudden greenness of the world. You can just make out the top of the wall surrounding the secret garden, winding through the foliage. Here you are safely away from the world, behind the tall stone walls. It is odd, yes, for a garden of such a size to exist in the city, but secret places are made of magic, not logic. If you managed to scale the stone walls, you would not see tightly packed skyscrapers, and if you went back down the ladder, through the hall, through the green door, you would not find any other way into this place. Secret worlds like to surprise you and catch you as you fall through the stress of the day into a dream where you can relax and rediscover your sense of wonder. A cool, fresh breeze kisses your face and threads through your hair, filling your lungs with the scent of sweet green things. You breathe deep, in and out, in and out. Each breath is filled with life and sweeps out the stale air of being cooped up all day inside small, dim rooms in varying shades of beige. The garden is overabundant with many, many flowers. Surrounding the well you climbed out of are massively huge rose bushes, thick with the heads of white, red, pink, orange flowers as big as your head. Lazy, fuzzy bees roll back and forth in the center of the roses. They are friendly and do not harm anyone who comes in the garden. In fact, nothing in this garden will harm you. You put your hands in the roses, pulling heaps and heaps forward to your face, and bury your nose in them to smell the rich, sweet floral scent. A bee from one of the flowers tumbles out and lands on your arm, and you watch and wonder as it looks up at you, its large eyes contemplating what you are. The bee has big yellow blobs of pollen on each of its legs. It soon flies away and bumbles its way back into a rose, shaking itself back and forth as it wriggles deep down in the center of the flower. Several paths lead out from the entrance of the secret garden, and if you wanted to, you could spend days and days in this place, walking the cobbled walkways, and always find a new corner to turn, a new hidden section, which opens out into an immaculately trimmed hedgerow maze, or a wild meadow covered in swaying poppies with plate-sized heads bobbing back and forth in the wind. But today I will take you to the glass conservatory. It's one of the many buildings here in the garden, and in it we will find exotic tropical plants and cute golden monkeys with pink faces who live up in the trees and eat fruit and go where they please without worry or care. We will follow the tinkling sound of the fountain through the brush of butterfly bushes with silver blue leaves and thick cones of tiny purple flowers covered in swallowtails and skippers, monarchs and viceroys, periwinkles and glasswings. And as you walk by, the air is filled with a dazzling display of butterfly wings dancing about your head. The path opens out into a mossy cobblestone courtyard in front of a glass conservatory with green iron panes. A large fountain basin is situated against the front wall of the conservatory, covered in shiny blue and green tiles, water bubbling and flowing out of a large ceramic shell. There's a little metal shell filled with fish food for guests to dip your hand into and feed the fish. As you sprinkle the flakes on the surface of the water, dozens of flashing fishy mouths gulp out the food from underneath the duckweed and serene lily pads. One fish is a soft gold and has long flowing fins. Another is orange and black and white calico. Several are orange like goldfish, and there's one the color of a pearl with silvery scales. This is such a peaceful place to relax. There is a little green-black wrought iron bistro set decorated in hummingbirds and roses, where you can sit and watch the fish swim round and round in the fountain. It's the perfect place to spend a day with a book and a cappuccino, just listening to the sounds of the secret garden, a step away from the rest of the world, hidden in the depths of the foliage, safe from any stress or everyday worry. Now, let's go inside the conservatory. The world becomes a new vibrant hue of green as the light filters in through the glass ceiling and bounces off the leaves of all these tropical plants. Just inside are several cut crystal glasses and a large glass pitcher with gold filigree accents and a little golden knob on the front. On a counter of mismatched antique bohemian tiles edged in green tiles. Inside of the pitcher is a fuchsia tea with flower petals, ice, and sliced fruit floating inside. The ceramic sign says in swooping cursive letters that today they are serving a hibiscus rose herbal tea with strawberries. Every day there is a new flavor of tea served here, made fresh from fruit, flowers, and tea leaves grown right here in the secret garden. Over and around the refreshment counter are monstrous monstera plants and dense winding philodendron and pothos vines. And overhanging the entryway are several varieties of geraniums, suspended in natural coconut husk baskets on brass chains. There are also several white wicker chairs and tables here, where you can sit and chat under a fiddle leaf fig or in dappled sunlight under the branches of an umbrella tree. The conservatory is much more humid than the rest of the garden, and you can just imagine that you're in a more tropical climate, especially with the far-off chatter of the little golden monkeys. They enjoy racing through the palms and bromeliads, using the dense green flora for hide-and-seek and chase. You catch a glimpse of two monkeys darting about under the nearby planted bed filled with ferns. They are not tame monkeys, but they are friendly and will climb up your arms and sit on your shoulder or your head, and they will let you hold them and pet them. If anything, they are far more curious and interested in the guests than the guests are with them. Here is a tiny monkey now, peeking at you from behind a lemon button fern. Hold out your hand like this, and here she comes almost immediately to see who you are and make friends with you. She examines your hand in her own two tiny hands as you hold very still, but she will not run off at any sudden movement. In fact, she climbs up your arm and chatters at you in her squeaky voice as she holds onto your shoulder as if you were her mother. The conservatory is laid out in neat rows of raised beds with tiled walkways between them, and at the back of the building is a black iron spiral staircase that leads up to the second story, suspended high over a vibrant topography. At the very center of the conservatory is a large fish tank set beneath a waterfall made of natural rock and surrounded by horsetail reeds, elephant ears, peace lilies, alocasia pollies, and caladiums in a wide variety of varieties, such as the skeletal green vines against the white leaf of the candidum, or the white speckled green leaves blushing pink in the center of the heart's delight, or the delicate translucent leaves of the pretty pink. The front of the fish tank is a huge sheet of glass set in a natural stone wall where you can watch the tropical fish swim back and forth and in and out between the Nubius vateri, Microsorum terapus, Java moss, and many other various green and magenta tropical plants. The largest fish are the Oscars, who will come right up to the glass and follow you back and forth. Then there are the gold, yellow, and pink parrotfish, angelfish, both tiny and large, the shimmering round discus, and many, many varieties of cichlids, some with vertical stripes, others with horizontal stripes, bright neon yellows and electric blues, some speckled and dotted, and others with maze-like patterns. They all look as if they've been painted, their colors almost unreal. Wriggly and squiggly loaches lay on the stone substrate, then dash up to the surface of the water to grab an air bubble before wriggling back down amongst the cory catfish, featherfin squeakers, and pluckos. You decide to stay here and watch the swimming fish and stretch out on the cushioned wicker lounger. The monkey who has held onto your shoulder this whole time snuggles up underneath your hair and yawns. You reach up and pet her soft body gently, and you find her yawn catching as your eyelids grow heavy. Watching the fish swim back and forth makes you sleepy, and you relax into the thick coral cushions. You can stay right here as long as you like. Time has no bearing on this secret place, and when you return to your world, you will find yourself refreshed and ready for your day. When you wish it, I will bring you back to the secret garden and show you new pathways where you will discover new, wonderful things. There are many paths in this garden, and many, many new things and places to explore.